Hi, I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation and welcome back to the Hive. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this Meross Wi-Fi outdoor plug. As always, I'll take a look around the outside of the box, we'll take a look at what's in the box, and we'll get it set up with the Native app and take a look at it in HomeKit. In a future video, I'll be seeing about getting the Meross Smart Wi-Fi outdoor plug integrated into Home Assistant. So while I rolled the intro, why don't you take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I release new videos each week. While you're at it, if you like what I do here and you want to support the channel, there's some affiliate links to smart home gadgets you can buy for your own smart home, including the Meross Smart Wi-Fi outdoor plug, and support the channel at the same time, or you can support the channel directly through my Buy Me a Coffee link. Affiliate links and my Buy Me a Coffee link can all be found on my website, hivemindautomation.com.au. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. Now, a while ago, you may recall that I set up the Aqara Smart Doorbell G4 for my in-laws. And the selection criteria for that doorbell included that it needed to have native HomeKit compatibility. Well, we're back at it again, and this time we needed smart switching for some outdoor lights. A couple of weeks ago, we installed some low voltage festoon string lights over my in-laws' outdoor dining table to provide better lighting for when they're entertaining guests outdoors, and it starts to get dark. We had considered some smart RGB festoon lights, but finding good ones at Bunnings appears to be next to impossible, and others from trusted brands like Wiz and Twinkly have been hard to find stock, and we didn't want to overcomplicate the setup either. Instead, we decided on a simple string of festoon lights with no smarts, and then a smart switch for on and off functionality. Because it's going outdoors, even though it's always going to be undercover, we needed to find a smart switch that's outdoor rated as well. And this is where the Meross Smart Wi-Fi outdoor plug model number MSS620 comes into play. I picked up two of these from Amazon on special a couple of weeks ago for $41.99 each. Their regular price is $59.99 each, and I will admit that this is a little bit pricey for a smart switch that's purely on and off functionality. However, it is IP44 dust and waterproof rated, with the added benefit that it is natively compatible with Apple HomeKit, which is perfect for use in my in-laws' house. Again, they don't have Home Assistant set up, and we want to try and keep everything in that location as simple as possible and as integrated as possible as well. Now, the only prerequisites that you need to deploy this smart switch in your home is a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network and a smartphone running either iOS 13 or later or Android 6 or later. Based on the smartphone requirement, I think we're also going to need the Meross app, which is free on the various app stores, but I will be interested to see if we can integrate this directly into HomeKit without needing the Meross app, and we will get to that later. So we'll start with a quick look around the box. And over here on the front, you can see we've got Smart Wi-Fi Outdoor Plug MSS620, a picture of the unit itself. Now, you'll see that it's got this lead, so it's almost a bit more like a power board than a smart plug. And that's actually also one of the things I liked about it. The lead on here looks really short, but we'll see on when we get to the back that it should be, it's actually a little bit longer than it seems to look in this picture. We've got that it works with Apple Home, it works with Google Home, it works with SmartThings, and it works with the Amazon ecosystem as well. On this side here, if I can get that into frame, easy to install, dustproof, wall mount, smart schedule, sunrise and sunset mode, and remote access. On the back here, we've got some technical specifications. Input of 220 to 240 volts at 50 to 60 hertz, 10 amps maximum. An output of 10 amps maximum. Our dimensions here are 5.1 by 2.9 by 1.5 inches, excluding the power cord. The power cord length is 90 centimeters long. So that's what I mean by 90 centimeters should be a bit longer than it appeared to be on the drawing on the front. The wireless standard is 802.11b, G or N 2.4 gigahertz. And the system requirements is a smartphone running iOS 13 or later, or Android 6 or later. And we mentioned that in prerequisites, and the existing 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. We've got a 2-year manufacturer's warranty, and there's a support email address and the website there. Some fine print about the specifications being subject to change and the owners of the assorted trademarks that are mentioned on the box or in the manual. Manufacturer details there and compliance information and some barcodes and stuff in the bottom. On this side, it's just a serving suggestion for some outdoor lights, which is pretty much what we're doing. And on this edge, we've just got Meross branding. And there's nothing on this edge here. So with the outside of the box covered off, we will take it out of the box and get a look at the unit. So I will just cut the plastic dot here and we'll open up the flap. And we've got the unit itself. It's bigger than I had anticipated, which is okay, I guess. And we've got our HomeKit setup code. It says take a picture and save the code and to paste it there. 7 things you need to know about HomeKit. So I'll pop that aside, and we've also then got our Meross user manual. Here, tells a little bit about the unit, installation guide, the IP for waterproof rating there, LED and button rules, links to your system alongside, FAQs, and some more details there, and it's on the outside there. Inside the 7 things we need to know about HomeKit, life request, types, request, read user manual carefully, HomeKit life, share, and family, simple life, life, and back, HomeKit information, Meross app, so we'll take a look at those quickly. So something it does say inside this 7 things you need to know about HomeKit is the Meross app and Home app. It does say that you do still need the Meross app to make sure that you have firmware upgrades available, and the Meross app can help you find lost HomeKit setup codes when you need to set up HomeKit again. So that's a little bit interesting, and there's no actual HomeKit setup code that I've found so far. It might be on the unit. There it is. So I'll pop the manuals aside and we'll take a look at the unit itself now. We've got our 90 centimeter cable, which is a pretty good length, I think, for something like this. I'll just untwist this for the cable. And yeah, 90 centimeters seems about right there. So 3 feet for those who use imperial measurements there. Looking at the unit itself, it's a pretty solid ABS plastic material there. And we've got these nice spring-loaded socket covers here as well. A rubberized button, and from what I saw in the manual, that's also an indicator LED underneath there. And on the back, we have the model number, input voltage, output 10 amp maximum load there, manufacturer details, compliance, IP44 rating, and our HomeKit pairing code there. So I'll see if I can pair that just with HomeKit, but I'll be interested to see if we do need the Meross app at all. So being that it is a smart switch, again, there's really not a whole lot to discuss about this unit. What I will do is I will plug it into power. So it's plugged into power now. We've just got a green LED, and it is also flashing orange there, which I'm assuming is something to do with a pairing mode. What I'm also going to do is just plug in a load over here, which is just a little lamp that I've got here. You've seen this in previous videos. We note that it's on currently, and if I press the button, it will turn off there. Okay, so with our red light on the unit itself flashing here, and over on our iPhone, I'm going to open up the Home app here. And I'm going to tap the plus button in the top right hand corner and then tap add accessory. And now I'm going to, on the back of the unit here, I'm going to scan the QR code, and we've got PowerPoint, add to home. And it says setting up. Okay, and we're being asked for the PowerPoint location. For now, I'll put that in backyard. I'll tap continue, and it's just got smart outdoor plug. I'm gonna make that Meross smart outdoor plug. I'll tap continue, and we've got PowerPoint 1 and PowerPoint 2. So that's actually really cool because it indicates now that each port is individually switchable, which I'm really, really interested in. So I'll call this, let's call this Bug Zapper, and we'll call the other one Festoon Lights. And those are just example names for now, but that may end up being exactly what they end up plugging into. So I'll tap done on that. And just up here, I will go and scroll down, and I'll just grab my backyard section here. And we've got a Meross Smart Plug. And if I open that up, I've got Bug Zapper, and I can turn that on. And we got a green light, and we heard a relay flick. And I've turned that off, and Festoon Lights, and then that's working beautifully. So I'm actually really super surprised and super happy that we're seeing individual switching of each of the outlets here. That is fantastic news. If I tap on the cog in the bottom right hand corner, we can take a look at some settings here. We've got room and we've got accessories, so we can drill in and change names and do what we need to do there. We can add it to the home view. We can include it in favorites. We can show as separate tiles, so we then end up getting the Bug Zapper and the Festoon Lights on the home page here as separate tiles. But for now, I'll just go back to accessory settings and show as a single tile. Back into the settings again. We can add automations as well, so do things like when people arrive at certain times of day, when another accessory is controlled, or when a sensor detects something. So because I have my Unify camera in the backyard room there as well, we may actually be able to use the motion detection there. So you see we've got Alfresco High. If I tap that and go next, if the Alfresco High detects motion, we can also time box that within HomeKit, or have it so that it only works when certain presence detection things are met within HomeKit as well. So when someone's home, when no one's home, or when I am or I am not home. Not add anything there. We can tap next, and then so when motion is detected in backyard, we could turn on the Festoon Lights, for example, and then if I test that automation, it just turns on those Festoon Lights, and we can then have it set to then turn off after a period of time, depending on how we want to set that up. So you could reasonably, with the motion sensor in my Unify camera, or any other motion sensor for that matter, use this as a kind of motion sensor light for some outdoor lights if you wanted to, or something along those lines. But you can also, as you saw, choose other methods to automate. So I'll just tap done. That's going to create that automation there, and I'm just going to actually delete that automation. So we then see that we've got details of the manufacturer, so Meross, and the serial number and the model number and the firmware ID there, and we can remove the accessory. Being that we're looking at a smart switch, there's not a lot of additional functionality here. We don't have energy monitoring on this particular unit, which I think I can live with. I'm more interested in it being outdoor rated than about it being energy monitoring or anything special there. So back in the settings under the manufacturer, we can see that we can open the Meross app. If we didn't have it installed already on our phone, there would be a prompt here to install it from the App Store as well. I'm going to tap open, and it's going to take me into the Meross app. And I'm currently logged out I would need to sign up to an account on the Meross cloud in order to be able to use all of the functions. I'm going to just try tapping the plus here in the top right, and it is going to require me to sign up. I'll do that now very quickly, and we'll just take a look inside the native app. So after signing up, it's asking me if it can use Bluetooth. I'm going to tap OK. It's asking to be able to find and connect to devices on my local network. I'm going to allow that. And it's asking me if I want to save my password that I created. I'm going to tap save because I created a fairly complicated password. Now it's asking us to select a device here. Because I tapped the plus button, I created an account, but that plus button is really about adding devices, and it's detected an unbound device in this network, which is the smart outdoor plug right at the top, but we could scroll through and choose other things here, and smart outdoor plug is the third item down in that list. I'm just going to tap add next to the unbound device. Adding process may take 1 minute, and you can find a newly added device in the home page. I'll tap OK on that, and I'll just back out to the home page and just refresh. And there we go. We've got the smart outdoor plug. We've got switch 1 and switch 2. So it's showing those options there. If I drill in, we've got our device name. We've got the LED. We can turn the LED off if we want to, so that it's not showing that. We can load up the user manual as well, and that's just going to load the website user manual. We can back out here. It's got the time zone and the current device time. The location, so it's got longitude and latitude. Now that's going to take effect if you're using things like sunrise and sunset automations with this. So if I tap auto detect, I'm probably going to have to blur this out, but I will allow while using app on the location services there, and it has loaded up my longitude and latitude, and I can save that there. So it should now be able to detect sunset and sunrise, or know when those are happening. In device info, we've got HomeKit setup code. So we can actually gather the HomeKit setup code for the device from inside the app, although it is on the back of the unit itself. I assume this is for backup if you've maybe stuck this to the wall and in a way that's very difficult to get off. I will say, just looking at the physical device, I kind of expected there to be mount points on the back. It does have this kind of hook here on where the strain relief for the cable goes into the unit. So I guess that's the mount point. I kind of expected there to be something molded into the plastic for mounting, which I'm a little disappointed that there's not, but I guess I can live with it. Maybe that was to do with being able to get the IP44 rating, I guess. We've got our Wi-Fi signal strength at 73%. It says it's located in an area with poor Wi-Fi signal, which will probably cause frequent disconnection. There's a forum inside the app here. There's also a shop inside the app, so you can shop for more Meross products. And it's nice to see that it does automatically select Australian dollars there in the bottom right. And we've also got the user details here. We can drill in and change details about our user account, change our password, change two-factor authentication to turn that on. I would 100% recommend turning on two-factor authentication. I won't do that right now. You can change the nickname. You can add a birthday in there as well if you want to. Again, I'm not going to do that. You can delete your account and log out. There's integrations for the various assistants. So all of those things, and Apple HomeKit, and it tells you how to pair your HomeKit device. We've already done that, so we don't need to do that again. A support section here with help and feedback. Our system section with firmware update, widgets, watch, and settings. So firmware update is in here, and if I drill in here, it seems like there's no update for the outdoor plug. So I guess that's good. A widget, so we can create a widget for either different scenes or devices. It's not for home screen widgets. It's only a little disappointing. just means that the Meross app needs to update. But having a widget is kind of cool. There's some watch details here, so we can add our switch 1 and 2 to our watch. And if I were to open up the Meross app on my watch, and I'll tap save there, and then over on my Apple Watch we've got switch 1 and switch 2, so I can execute switch 2, switch 1. Yeah. So controlling it with the Apple Watch is kind of cool as well. I don't know that there would be too many cases where I'd want that, but it is an option. So I guess that's nice to have. Inside settings, we've got our language details. We can clear the cache. It doesn't remove device data or personal information, only browsed contents and histories. We can turn on vibration, so when your smart home vibrates when you control the device and the scene. I don't think I need that. We can get forum notifications. I'm going to turn that off because I don't think I need that. And there's information about our privacy policy in terms of use. Back out here, you can follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. You can subscribe or unsubscribe to their marketing email. I'm going to do that. And unsubscribe from marketing email. I already get a bit too much email. And you can rate the app as well there. So all of that's just in the user tab, and the rest of the useful stuff for the unit is in the home app there, or in the smart app if you create a smart scene. So that is the Meross Wi-Fi outdoor plug. From what I've seen here on the bench, the responsiveness through either the native app or through HomeKit is really great. And it was definitely a pleasant surprise to see that the individual ports on the device are switchable, as opposed to switching the whole unit as one port. For the use case at my in-laws' house, we can talk about maybe adding a HomePod into the mix in their network so that they can use a voice command to turn the patio lights on and off, or perhaps a bug zapper if they want to go down that path, though they're already going to be able to do that with their iPhones in the short term. Now, I mentioned that I got 2 of these because I want to keep one for using with some outdoor lighting and a bug zapper during outdoor entertaining season around here as well. And I'm also looking forward to doing some experiments with Home Assistant and the Meross Outdoor app in a future video. From the initial reading that I've done, we may actually be able to get fully local control over this unit rather than needing to work with a cloud API. And from that initial reading, it also seems like what Meross are actually doing here is using a cloud MQTT broker and sending MQTT messages that way, which, if we can intercept those and process those ourselves, that would certainly take any kind of latency out of the system. Not that I've noticed any here. I think it's actually been pretty good. But as it stands right now, there's no native Meross compatibility with Home Assistant. There are, however, custom components available, and we'll be exploring those custom components in a future video. In this unmodified setup, the cloud connectivity is certainly not ideal, but being that HomeKit connectivity was non-negotiable, in this case, I think it's a compromise that I can live with. I might be taking a look at more of the Meross accessories in the not too distant future, but I might hold off until I see how well this one performs for a little while. Let me know your thoughts on this Meross Outdoor Smart Plug in the comments down below. That is all we have for this video, and I do hope that it's helped you in your smart home or home automation journey. Be sure to drop a comment below with a home automation idea that you'd like to see me cover in future videos. And don't forget to also follow HiveMind Automation on Instagram and Facebook. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button down below to give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, now's a great time to change that. While you're at it, if you hit the bell icon, you'll get a notification anytime I release a new video, which is normally every week. Lastly, if you enjoy what I do here and you want help to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description down below. Any contribution you make through Buy Me a Coffee does go towards making more and hopefully better content for you to enjoy. Don't forget to check out my website, hivemindautomation.com.au. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.